Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're plunging into a story that really has it all.
Hmm.
Immense wealth, a grand private island, a powerful patriarch, and, well, a family just absolutely riddled with
And
secrets.
that's just the starting point.
Right. Then you throw in a mysterious death, this really unconventional will designed to pit everyone against each other,
Hmm.
and a massive summer storm threatening to unravel everything. It sounds utterly captivating, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And that's exactly where we're headed today. We're taking a deep dive into Sarah MacLean's compelling novel, These Summer Storms,
Yeah.
a narrative that really just plunges us into the heart of a truly extraordinary and, let's be honest, extraordinarily dysfunctional family.
Yeah, dysfunctional seems like the right word. And our mission with this deep dive, it isn't just to, retell the story.
Right.
It's really about dissecting these intricate layers of family dynamics, the intoxicating allure of control.
Definitely that.
And one woman's journey, Alice's journey, to reclaim her own life amidst this maelstrom of manipulation and long-buried truths.
Exactly. We're going to try and extract the most fascinating nuggets from these pages, helping you understand the true cost of legacy
Mm.
and maybe the courage it takes to forge your own path.
So the scene is set. We have Alice Storm returning to the opulent, but also kind of suffocating confines of Storm Island.
Right, after 5 years away. Estranged from her billionaire father, Franklin.
And her mother calls it a celebration of life, which already sounds a bit ominous.
It does, because from the moment Alice steps off that train, it's clear this is no ordinary family gathering. It's a powder keg, really, just waiting for a spark.
And much like the family, the setting itself, Storm Island, it feels like a powder keg, too. Steeped in history, and even its name seems to carry the sense of foreboding.
Hmm.
What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. The island isn't just, a pretty backdrop. It's practically a character in its own right, and its own tempestuous history really echoes the tumultuous dynamics we see playing out within the Storm family's walls.
So tell us about that history.
Well, originally it wasn't even called Storm Island. It was named Akukut. Yeah, it's an Algonquian language word meaning tempest. It was purchased way back in the 1660s by a guy named John Peckham.
Okay, Tempest. That's
Yeah.
pretty on the nose.
Eerily prophetic,
That-
right? Because he apparently died in a brutal storm during his first winter there.
Wow. So the island itself has this kind of powerful, almost ominous energy from the start.
It really seems that way.
And speaking of powerful figures, that energy sort of amplified when the wealthy started moving in, right? There's a Vanderbilt connection.
There is, yeah. Cornelius Vanderbilt II, the grandson of the original Cornelius Vanderbilt, he basically put Wickford, Rhode Island, and these islands on the map in 1870
How so?
with his Newport and Wickford Railroad and Steamboat Company. It made the area accessible for the wealthy, turned it into a playground for New York's elite.
A place for fortunes to be displayed.
Precisely. It became this coveted spot. And then Franklin Storm comes along.
The patriarch.
He takes this huge 63-acre domain, this enormous 19th century manor with amazing views of the Atlantic and Narragansett Bay, and transforms it into his personal kingdom.
Total control.
Absolutely. And here's a detail that speaks volumes. He purposely kept the Wi-Fi spotty.
Get out, really.
Yeah, a subtle but, incredibly powerful assertion of his control. Everything runs on his terms.
It's those little details that really paint the picture, isn't it? Franklin Storm, the architect of control,
Definitely.
a self-made billionaire, a trailblazing genius, apparently,
Yeah.
built the Storm name from, what was it, $1,107 and a dream.
That's the legend, yeah. His ambition was legendary. His unwillingness to fail, absolute.
And even his death in a gliding accident. It
Sure.
was dubbed the most billionaire death to ever billionaire.
Which perfectly encapsulates his whole larger-than-life risk-taking nature, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But his final act, his most elaborate act of control, this Storm Olympics, it sounds almost theatrical.
It is absolutely theatrical, a performance designed to echo even after he's gone.
So what's the real deal with this inheritance game? It's not just about the money, is it?
Not at all. I mean, yes, on the surface, it's about his kids inheriting his vast fortune, but dig deeper. And you see, it's about keeping his influence alive, perpetuating his control beyond the grave.
Oh, so.
He's forcing them to compete, to betray each other in some cases, to adhere to his vision, even now that he's gone. It's pretty chilling, actually. A patriarch who just couldn't let go, not even in death. This Storm Olympics really shows how he saw his family less like individuals, more like extensions of his empire.
Wow.
He wasn't just giving them wealth. He was imposing tasks, forcing them into these predefined roles he set out. It's less about giving, more about demanding obedience from the beyond.
His ultimate act of authorship over their lives, almost tyrannical.
You could say that.
And Alice's return to this whole environment is particularly fraught, isn't it, given her history with him?
Extremely fraught. He exiled her 5 years earlier.
Right, after she publicly put the company on blast over some corporate leadership issues, caused a stock hit.
Exactly. And after that, he refused to even acknowledge her. Like, even at family dinners. Just pretended she wasn't there.
That's incredibly harsh, even for a billionaire control freak.
It is. It really speaks to the depth of his need for absolute control over their public and private lives.
And Alice, meanwhile.
Yeah.
She's an artist, right? A painter.
Yeah, known for her watercolor cityscapes.
Yeah.
But she's still drawn to the water for inspiration, which is interesting given the island setting.
Her old room in the manor, it's described like a time capsule.
It is. Her childhood room in the tower filled with old photos, treasures.
Yeah.
Almost like a sanctuary away from her father's influence.
And her journey back starts with this encounter on the Amtrak train.
Mm-hmm. With a stoic, handsome guy, compass tattoo, Jack Dean.
Right. And she has no idea at this point.
Not a clue. No idea how connected he is to her family, and especially to her father's final plans.
Okay, so let's pivot to the rest of the Storm family. This gallery of dysfunction and hidden agendas.
Quite the gallery.
At the center, you have Elizabeth Storm, the matriarch. Her go-to phrase is, "I'm fine."
Which is basically code for, don't you dare show any real emotion.
Exactly. It's her shield. And she's described as having this almost puritanical loathing for flashy wealth.
Yeah, lives on a private island.
And is obsessed with her skincare regimen. Contradictions.
Totally. Her whole commanding presence sets the stage. It's all about avoiding scenes and maintaining control. Appearances above all else.
So what kind of family dynamic does that create when the mom is so rigid about appearances?
Well, it would create an environment just ripe for secrets, suppressed emotions. Everyone's constantly performing, playing a role.
Like the siblings.
Perfectly cast for the drama.
Yeah.
Greta, the eldest. She's the textbook eldest. You know, emotional, controlling, dependable.
But also has this deeply sensitive stomach from constant worry.
Right. And her task in the Storm Olympics.
Yeah.
She has to end her long-term secret relationship with Tony Balistreri.
Who is Franklin's chief of staff.
Exactly. That alone tells you how deep Franklin's control reached. Right into their most private lives.
It's chilling. Okay, then there's Sam, the brother. The boy king.
Initially slated to be CEO of Storm Inc. Seems kind of Teflon-coated, maybe a bit insensitive.
Riding on Dad's coattails.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And his task is kind of odd. The physical upkeep of the island's antique fog bell.
Yeah, weirdly specific. Manual labor for the supposed heir.
Right. And his wife, Sela. She's described as a new money princess. Very focused on securing their family's future, maybe with a bit of disdain for the Storm's old money ways.
Okay. And the youngest, Emily.
Oh, Emily, the baby of the family, runs a crystal shop in Wickford, burns sage, everyone's favorite flake.
Right. And initially it seems like she doesn't have a task in the game.
Which Greta finds highly suspicious.
Yeah.
Just highlights the mistrust simmering beneath the surface, doesn't it?
Totally. And her partner, Claudia.
Claudia seems quiet, steady, insightful. Almost like a grounding force that the rest of the family really lacks.
Okay, back to Jack Dean, the guy from the train.
Right. The mystery man.
He quickly emerges as a key player. Franklin's golden boy.
Yeah, revealed as Franklin's managing director. Often called the son he wished he had.
Which must drive Sam crazy.
Oh, intensely. Sam resents him for always getting the promotions he expected.
And Jack feels indebted to Franklin.
Deeply. He says Franklin changed his life years ago, so there's this deep-seated loyalty there. A powerful bond.
But where does that leave Alice? They had that impulsive one-night stand when she arrived.
Right. Which immediately gets complicated because she quickly finds out he's deeply involved in her family stuff, her father's game.
Making her question everything, his motives, his integrity.
Absolutely. And her own task, compared to the others, seems so simple. Just stay on Storm Island for the week.
But like we said, for her, for someone exiled, someone who wants nothing to do with her father's control.
It's not simple at all. It becomes this huge battle for her independence. It's less a task, more like a psychological trap set just for her.
And then she finds out Jack's real role.
That's right. He isn't just a judge in this game.
Yeah.
He's her keeper.
Her keeper, meaning?
Meaning, Franklin specifically tasks him with making sure she stays on the island. Fulfills her simple task.
Oh, the betrayal.
Huge betrayal. especially when he admits he knew who she was the whole time. On the train, everything.
So Franklin used proximity, personal connection, even potential romance as tools of control.
It certainly looks that way. Manipulating even those closest to him, like Jack, to get what he wanted, it's a devastating blow to Alice's already fragile trust.
And this manipulation, it stretches way back into her past too, doesn't it, with her ex-fiancé, Griffin?
Oh, yeah. Griffin suddenly resurfaces, tries to rekindle things with Alice.
And Jack drops a bomb.
A massive one. He reveals that Franklin, through Jack, paid Griffin off 5 years ago. Paid him to leave Alice.
Why?
Because Franklin deemed Griffin unworthy of Class A stock.
Unbelievable. It exposes Griffin's mercenary nature, obviously.
Hold on.
But also Franklin's relentless control over Alice's life choices, even who she could love. How does discovering that kind of deep-seated manipulation affect someone?
It's absolutely shattering, isn't it? It implies that even her most personal decisions were just financial calculations for her father. It strips away her sense of free will.
Forces her to see just how pervasive his influence was.
Exactly. And the revelations just keep coming. Sam, the boy king, he suffers this profound downfall.
Right, we learned Franklin actually fired him. On the 4th of July, no less.
Brutal. Shattered his CEO dreams. And then his world unravels even more. He's facing divorce.
And Silas poised to take the kids and a big chunk of his wealth.
Pretty much. Turns out he signed away custody years ago. Probably didn't even think about it then.
Wow. That's a huge fall from grace for someone so entitled.
It is. But interestingly, despite the devastation, this crisis seems to spark something in him. This raw, new kind of love for his kids.
Suggesting, maybe, potential for growth beyond the ambition.
It does. Perhaps, stripped of the power and the expectations, a more human side of Sam can actually emerge.
And then the biggest shocker, maybe, Emily's lineage.
Oh, that's a huge one. In this really dramatic confrontation, Emily reveals that Mike Haskins,
Franklin's original business partner.
that's the one. He's her biological father.
No way.
Yeah. Elizabeth, the mother, kept this secret for decades, which explains why Emily always felt like such an outsider.
Of course.
And Emily, with Claudia supporting her, finally confronts her mother, shows this surprising strength we hadn't seen from the family flake. It's a moment of radical truth.
It's an earthquake for the family, which brings up Elizabeth's secrets and the cost, because Greta's story comes out too.
Right, the painful truth behind her good daughter facade.
Elizabeth sent Greta away years ago for getting pregnant.
Yeah, knocked up, as the book puts it. All to protect the family's image, their reputation.
Which is incredibly hypocritical when you realize Emily, who was Franklin's illegitimate daughter in their eyes, got to stay on the island.
It's absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
It just lays bare Elizabeth's hypocrisy. And it forces you to ask, at what cost does a family protect its reputation?
For Greta, it was immense.
Totally. This wasn't just a secret. It was this deep wound that shaped her entire identity, the anxious, dependable eldest. Elizabeth basically sacrificed her own daughter's well-being for appearances.
Forced her into a role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Her story is this really poignant look at how family secrets can wound, can force you into a life that isn't yours. The whole family structure is just cracking under the weight of all these truths.
And as if all that emotional turmoil wasn't enough, a literal storm hits the island.
A storm to match the family, right?
Yeah.
A severe summer storm descends, reflecting all the turbulence inside the manor.
The power goes out.
And then, this incredible moment. Franklin's beloved, centuries-old red oak tree crashes right through the massive windows of his office,
Lands right on his desk.
shattering the physical symbol of his control. It's, wow, almost cathartic, like the island itself is rebelling against his rigid hold.
You can almost feel the house exhale, right? Releasing all that tension.
Exactly. It's not just drama, it's the culmination. That tree, symbolizing Franklin's deep roots, his permanence, literally broken. It forces everyone, especially Alice, to confront the wreckage, both real and emotional.
And ask what's left when the foundation crumbles.
And in that wreckage, in the debris of the office, Alice finds something.
The letter.
A hidden letter from her father, tucked behind her own painting titled, "In Progress."
What does it say?
He expresses pride in her, regret for sending her away, admits he broke it, and left her to fix it by herself.
Wow.
And he even suggests she might use a fixer, a clear nod to Jack.
Okay, that's huge. It forces Alice to rethink everything about her father, doesn't it? It's not a full apology, maybe, but it's a crack in that armor.
A huge crack. A pivotal moment for her. And then finally, the inheritance details are clarified.
Right. Larry, a board member, lays it out.
The island and manor go into a trust for Elizabeth and future storm generations. Each of the kids, Alice, Sam, Greta, Emily, gets a substantial inheritance, assuming they completed their tasks. Alice's share is confirmed as $1 billion.
$1 billion? Wow. And others get something too.
Yes. Tony Balistreri, Greta's partner, surprisingly gets 1% of Storm Inc. holdings. Makes him wealthy overnight.
Okay.
And Jack, for his role as keeper and manager of the game, also gets a significant portion of Storm stock.
So Franklin's game wasn't just punitive. There were rewards mixed in.
Seems so.
Yeah.
For those who played their parts, or maybe, like Tony and Jack, served his ultimate vision, he always had a plan for everyone.
But Alice still isn't free from the manipulation, right?
Not quite. Her family, well, mainly Sam, still desperate to secure his own inheritance, tries one last scheme.
What happens?
He, with help from Sila's sister Sawars, an unexpected accomplice, they actually lock Alice in a vault to stop her leaving before the week is up.
You're kidding, in a vault?
Yep. Which leads to this final confrontation where Alice calls Jack out on his complicity. She accuses him of being just another one of her father's collections.
Questioning if he was ever genuine or just another pawn.
Exactly. A really raw, powerful moment.
So the storm's broken, secrets are out. How does everyone try to move forward? Let's look at charting a new course.
Okay. First, Greta.
Right. With Tony now wealthy thanks to the will.
She's finally free.
Yeah.
Free from the game, free from her mother's demands. She leaves the island with Tony.
In a helicopter, waving.
Yeah, it's this great visual of liberation.
Yeah.
A clear break from all that suffocating expectation.
Good for her. What about Sam?
Sam, stripped of the CEO dream, facing divorce. He starts to find a new purpose, focusing on his kids.
Planning to bring them back to the island for fall break.
Right. And his actual inheritance, after Sila gets her share because of that prenup or whatever he signed, it amounts to just $738.
Wow. $738 from a billionaire inheritance. That's stark.
A very stark reminder of his past choices. But maybe it's a shift, you know, from inherited wealth to trying to build personal connection. Sometimes losing it all is the only way.
Yeah, maybe. And Emily. Her empowerment is really striking.
It really is. With Claudia's unwavering support, she fully embraces her true parentage. Mike Haskins being her dad.
And asserts her independence from Elizabeth.
Totally. And Claudia actually stands up to the family, too.
Yeah.
Declares they aren't prisoners, says Emily deserved better. It's this moment of collective defiance.
For anyone who's felt trapped by family expectations.
Absolutely.
And Alice, the central figure, how does she move forward?
Alice, armed with that letter from her father and this new understanding of her past, she decides to leave the island on her own terms.
Takes control of her own narrative.
Exactly. She leaves with Mike Haskins, her biological uncle, Emily's father.
And a final symbolic act.
She replaces the Picasso in her father's office with her own painting. In progress.
Oh, I love that. In progress. It's such a powerful statement, reclaiming her space, her story, her ongoing journey.
It really is self-authorship.
Yeah. What about Alice and Jack? Is there any hope there after all the betrayals?
Well, despite everything, that deep attraction, that connection, it's still there. And Jack seems genuinely tired of the corporate life, of being Franklin's man. He expresses this desire for a different future, assures Alice that he keeps his promises.
Unlike some others in her life.
Precisely. Their relationship, it's left kind of open, but it feels like a symbol of hope amidst all the wreckage. A potential future built on truth, maybe, instead of manipulation.
Leaves you with a sense of possibility, doesn't it? That even after the biggest storms, you can lay new foundations.
Definitely. So our journey through these summer storms has shown us this really compelling narrative, hasn't it? A family bound by control, shattered by secrets.
And ultimately finding these unexpected paths to truth and independence.
It's such a vivid illustration of how even the most powerful legacies can be broken, really, allowing for new beginnings.
And this story, it challenges us, doesn't it? It challenges you listening to consider your own inherited narrative, whether they're financial, emotional, societal.
It highlights the profound cost of letting other people dictate our lives.
And the liberation that can come from confronting those uncomfortable truths.
So the final thought for you. In a world that often tries to write your story for you, what truths are you ready to uncover about your own past?
And what bold new course will you chart for your future?
Something to think about.
Absolutely. For those intrigued by the author's work, Sarah MacLean is a New York Times bestselling author of, I think, 16 novels now. And she also co-hosts the nightly romance novel podcast, Fated Mates.
Worth checking out if you enjoyed this story.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into these summer storms.